Hi everyone, welcome back to our live session at Dhanguard. My name is Nooren Khan, and today we're going to be talking about the differences between setting up a company in the mainland versus setting up a company in a free zone. So, as a lot of you might know already, there are almost 45 different free zones across UAE, and the activities and the jurisdictions vary quite greatly depending on the emirates that you opt for. So, first, I'd like to speak a little bit about mainland. So, the first thing is what exactly classifies as mainland. Mainland is basically a company which is formed under the direct jurisdiction of that specific emirate. And the licenses are governed from the economic department of that specific emirate. So in the UAE, I would say we have 7 emirates, and each emirate out of those 7 has a specific jurisdiction. So the first one, let's talk about Dubai, obviously. So the Dubai Economic Department governs all of the mainland licenses in Dubai. They offer more than 100 plus activities that you can choose from. And a lot of the free zones in Dubai also follow the same activity and a little bit of the rules and regulations set by DED as well. So let's talk about the ownership in mainland. So up until recently, a lot of our clients were constantly asking us, do I need a local Emirati partner in order to set up a business in UAE mainland? So the question is, I would say halfway correct and halfway wrong, because up until recently, the UAE government did not allow foreign owners to own 100% of their companies. However, the split that was being followed was 49% can be a foreign partner and 51% had to be an Emirati partner. So recently they have changed it, and now the mainland companies also can have 100% ownership for a foreign national. So no, you do not need a Emirati partner or a local partner in order to sponsor your business to start it. You can go ahead with 100% foreign ownership, and again, Dhanguard can assist you with it. Now let's talk about the ownership in free zone companies. Sorry. So the free zone companies are obviously have been following the same categorization as per before. They're having the 100% ownership as per before as well. So the free zones don't have any restriction as to what exactly you can do and what you cannot do, who can own the business and who cannot own the business. Let's talk about also the business scope. What type of activities are permitted and what type of activities are not permitted. So obviously the UAE is a vast country with a lot of new business opportunities. The business scope greatly varies depending upon exactly what type of activity or which industry you want to set up in. So I would say that the free zone and the mainland, similarly, they both have a plethora of business activities that you can choose from. So if a client or if you yourself as an investor, you're worried about the fact that, oh, maybe the mainland business would not cater to my activity or the free zone business would not cater to my activity, that's completely false. All business activities are permitted both within the free zone and the mainland. So there's no question as to whether I can do this or not. Depending on your activity, we will suggest you whether it would be easier for you to set up a business in the mainland or in the free zone, and if free zone, which specific free zone would be best for you. Apart from this, there's also a taxation point of view that I would like to speak of. So the taxations, as you know, corporate tax at 9% and value added tax at 5%. So mainland companies are applicable for both. You will need to file corporate tax and VAT. Free zone companies are exempt from filing VAT or collecting VAT as long as they are doing their business within the free zone or outside the UAE. If a free zone company decides to do business with a mainland company, then in this case, they will be also applicable to pay 5% VAT on the services or goods exchanged. So again, mainland companies are liable to pay taxes in all situations, and free zone companies are liable to pay taxes, specifically value-added tax, in the case that they decide to do business with mainland companies. So for corporate tax as well, yes, there are certain free zones which are exempt from corporate tax liabilities, which we had covered in our previous corporate tax and VAT regulations video. You can have a look at that one for more in detail depth information regarding what type of company needs to be taxed and what type of company doesn't need to be taxed. Now, another main difference I would say is the number of visas. So this is a big question for a lot of our clients because everyone wants to know how many visas will they be allowed to have. How many employees they can have legally in the UAE, obviously, is a very big question. So in this case, I would like to say that mainland actually does not have any restrictions regarding the number of visas or what exactly you can plan for your company. However, in many free zones, the number of visas are generally restricted to a maximum of six. So six visas at maximum, including the investor or partner or shareholder visas, are available in the free zone. So if you're having a plan or if you are planning to employ more than six people in your company, including yourself, then I would suggest to set up in the mainland. It would make life a lot more easier for you, and you would be able to have your employees in the country with no issues. All right, so let's talk about again what is the physical office requirement. This is another big question because I would suggest that a lot of the investors have a very, very big question when it comes to this because it tends to be one of the bigger expenses for the setup. So obviously, Dubai, specifically speaking of Dubai, it's a very big economical hub. So I would say that the office renting spaces and the expenses that follow it are also extremely high as compared to other Emirates. So in this case, if you are concerned about not having a physical office, you don't need to worry as free zones actually do not require a physical office setup. So that's, I would say, one of the best perks that free zones offer because they really do not need a physical office. Free zones all over the UAE provide you with a lease agreement, which is a flexi desk, a shared desk, a fixed desk, lease agreement along with your license. Um, and this can be used as a physical address. Now, on the contrary, mainland companies actually need to have a physical office for a lot of the activities. So recently, DED has also come out with something called instant licenses. These licenses are those which do not have the requirement for an office space, a physical office space, or an ijari, to be specific, for the first year of business. However, again, after the first year is over, when you go for the license renewal, again, you're going to be having to rent a physical office space. So if your business is one that does not require a physical office at present, like a service industry, a consultancy business, a auditing and accounting firm, or any of the service industries where you can do your work and run your business virtually, which is one of the most, I would say, engaging trends in the industries of UAE at present, you can just set it up in the free zone and you will not be liable to have a physical office. Now, again, there is also a section for the auditing and the financial legislations in the types of businesses that we have. So if we're talking about the mainland companies are generally required to maintain an audit or the financial statements appropriately for a lot of the transactions and their fiscal years. However, the free zone companies are not required to undergo a audit, and they may require to do so for internal purposes. However, from the governmental side, from the authoritarian side, they're not required to undergo the audit. So again, a lot of the main difference is that the mainland licenses are governed by many different government bodies. We have the Ministry of Labor, we have the Ministry of Health, we have the Ministry of Human Resources and Amortization. So a lot of these um, ministerial approvals also take a lot of time. However, if you compare it to the free zones, then the free zones obviously are under a specific jurisdiction of that free zone authority only. So, for example, if you want to hire an employee, you want to process their visa, you don't need to go to anyone else. You don't need any special approval from any governmental authority. All you need to do is approach your agent through which you set up the free zone company, and they will be able to process the visa for you. And regarding the visas as well, let's say in the UAE we are having a certain legislation which allows, if you would like to have more than 6 visas, you would be required to purchase a physical office again. So in this case, again, it would be much easier for you to set up in the mainland if you're looking to have more than 6 visas. So this was shortly regarding the differences between the mainland and the free zone companies. We have done plenty of videos on YouTube regarding the same. You can see specifically which one fits your business better, and you can also get in touch with us at Dhanguard.com. You can follow us on Instagram, on LinkedIn as well. We do these lives every day, 5 days a week, in order to bring you the best knowledge. So if you have any topic that you would like to discuss or any more questions that you would like to know, you can always reach out to us, and one of our business setup experts will get in touch with you. Thanks a lot.